Of course, Kobe, Philadelphia youngster, played there at Lower Merion High School. A moment of silence before the game for Kobe. And once they started, Marc Gasol, Embiid took it right at him. And Gasol's usually a guy that wears out Embiid the other way. He's one of the few guys in the league that can guard him. But Embiid backs him up a little bit, gets him on his heels. Shooters roll over that. 13 points in the first quarter for Embiid. Generally against Gasol, he averages 10.5 per game. So he found something to exploit in this one. LeBron finds something to exploit all the time. He's just that good. 16 points in the paint in the first half. That's the most he's had in a half as a Laker. For the third straight half, he had at least 20 points, which ties the longest streak he's had in a decade. 22 points in the opening 24 minutes, 9 of 13 shooting. Lakers down 4. So we got a tight one. Third quarter, this is not good for Embiid. He's had some injury things. He's had some back issues. He goes up for the dunk, and he lands flat, prone, on the back, as you can see. That's a guy that is hurting. I mean, it's called the hardwood, you know. That's not a high jump mat that you fall onto. He stays in the game, and you can see, boy, he is moving slowly there. They leave him open, drains the three. He just keeps playing on despite the grimacing. Sixers up 7 after 3. We go into the fourth quarter. The lead's now 12. Danny Green, former Laker. Nice feed there from Ben Simmons. Simmons, 17-point, triple-double. Did some nice work. Lakers trailed by 14 with 5 to play. They get it down to 7 with 2 to go. Dennis Schroeder, here's open, and there's wide open. Splash that in your face. So the Lakers cut it to 4. Doc Rivers, we're going to need a timeout. Not all Blake's fault. Lakers get a stop again. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope in the corner for 3. We've got a 1-point game thanks to number 1. It's tight after another stop. 15 seconds to play. LeBron. They inbound it. LeBron gets it to a cutting Anthony Davis. And like that, the Lakers have a 13-zip run and the lead with 11 seconds left. 11 seconds, a lot of time. Sixers get the last shot. Doc dials this up. Tobias Harris on Alex Caruso. Harris, former Bucksman. Also played for Doc with the Clippers. Comes through. Drops that beautiful little pull-up jumper. No timeouts for the Lakers. So they get it to Anthony Davis, and he's falling, and he can't get up. The Sixers hang on to win at 107-106. Embiid, 28-6. LeBron, 34, 6 rebounds, 6 assists as well. More statistics about sports here from Bonds.
Double-digit leads, sort of, once a quarter almost, that you guys had to kind of dig your way out of.
It was a game of rust for them. The first quarter was we put them to the free throw line way too much. I believe they had 12 free throw attempts at the end of the first quarter, something like that. And B probably may have like 8 of those. And it allowed them to get their defense set, neutralized us being able to get stops to get out on the break. So we had to do a better job of that. But I thought, listen, besides that, we held them to 21 points in the second, 26 and 26, and and gave ourselves an opportunity to win at the end, and it didn't go our way. But I loved our fight. But you got to do a better job with the, keeping our hands out of the cookie jar, especially with a guy like Embiid who has, hardened like, magic as far as the swipe moves and things of that nature.
Up until that final run there, the shots weren't going down. That's happened a couple times on this trip. Have you seen anything different, or is it sort of make-miss in the way that you guys are getting shots and then converting from the perimeter?
I think we got some great looks. We play the same way every game. It's not like we change our approach, and our shooters kind of struggle tonight, obviously. We need, to open up the perimeter a lot more, but we got some great shots. Didn't make.
Well, hey LeBron, that closing lineup you guys had tonight, a lot of teams, even dating back to last postseason, has struggled when you and AD are with 3 other perimeter players. Do you feel like that lineup they had tonight is a little bit of a ace in the hole that you guys have to really match up well with anybody?
Well, it's always good to know that you can go down the stretch and go to AD at the 5 and me at kind of like that point forward, and then surround us with guards and shooters. And defenders if need be. We have a lot of minutes as far as with AD at the 5 and me kind of playing the 4 on defense and playing the point on the offensive end. So it was a good lineup for us. And then also having KCP out there with AC and Dennis, it just gives us a lot of dimension, both offensively and defensively.
Dan?
All right. Sorry about that. LeBron, AD was under 20 points again tonight. What do you think of his offensive rhythm right now? And are there things that you guys can do to try to get him going a little bit more, or is this just him working his way into the season still?
You said AD?
Yeah, Anthony.
No, I thought, he missed some shots that he's accustomed to making, and I think AD is in a pretty good rhythm right now. And I think every game is, getting better and better for him. But, it's our job to get him the ball. It's our job to get him the ball. And I thought we did a great job at times. At times we did not. So we got to be better as well with that.
Dave?
About a couple of years back, we were in Philly, and you were talking about the Sixer squad and the expectations placed upon them. And you said everybody wants instant oatmeal, but it takes some time for these things to come together. How do you view them now, the number one team in the East, and they just played you guys down to the wire?
I think it's a really good team that they put together. Give a lot of credit to Ellen Brand and the things that they're doing here. Obviously Doc is always one, pretty much wherever he's been, and you got him playing some really good basketball. So, we see as the season goes on, there's going to be a lot of teams in the Eastern Conference that's going to play championship basketball down the stretch. I know they believe that they're one of those teams.
Two more, Bill?
Hey, LeBron. That run that you guys had in the fourth, started with a couple of buckets from Alex, and then he has a steal in there also. I'm just wondering, how have his contributions maybe evolved, or what is different about the way he's contributing to this group this year, and just how much better is he than he was a year ago?
I mean, AC is whatever we need. AC is kind of a Swiss Army knife, to be honest. If you need scissors, you need a wine opener, you need a fingernail clipper, if you need a knife, he's all of that in one. He can do it all. I mean, he just helps our ball club in so many different ways. He can bring the ball up, play the point. He can play off the ball. I mean, he's shooting, dead eye from the three this year, and he defends at a high level, and he doesn't make many mistakes. So, you always can live with that. You can live with a guy on the floor like that and just play championship basketball.
So you make him open your wine for you?
And I open my own wine. I'm going to be honest. I would not let him open my wine, and that's no disrespect to him. But when it comes to my wine, I trust myself.
Steven?
Hey, LeBron. I was just wondering, with how long you've been on the top, you've obviously had to adapt to a lot of things. I was just wondering how it is that you manage changing your game and just change in general.
You have to change with the times, I guess. You have to continue to evolve. I mean, when I came into the league, it was literally a big man's league, pretty much. And I don't mean that it's not a big man's league. Now I mean like 4s and 5s pretty much played in the paint. You had, big guys, and there was a lot of posting up, things of that nature. You had some flick wings and things of that nature, but it was a big body, big man game. And as the league evolves, you have to be able to evolve with it if you want to keep up with the time, keep up with the Joneses or keep up with the Jameses in my case. So for me, never putting a cap on my ceiling. I just want to always continue to get better and do things out on the floor that's maybe hasn't been done in other people's careers, and continue to push the envelope and see how much juice I can squeeze out of the lemon. So that was pretty loud, but it's okay. So it's just always trying to, put myself, like I said, in a position to be successful, continue to work on my game, work on my mind, work on my body, and see what the cards is, how they be played. You play the hand that's dealt to you, and just go from there.
There, thank you.
Oh, that's it?
That's it, thank you.
What did you guys put together to make that run, and how did things go? How did it play out?
Yeah, I mean, I got to look at the tape of the whole sequence, but we never believed we couldn't get back in the game. We have a lineup with Dennis, Alex, KCP, Bron, and AD that's been really lights out defensively, and we knew we'd have a chance. If we held down on the defensive end, to make some shots and get back in it, we were able to do that. Bron made a great pass to AD, to give us the lead, and Tobias Harris came down and hit a great shot against good defense. So, we didn't do enough throughout the course of the game to put ourselves in position to win, but it was a heck of a fight down the stretch.
There were a couple of playoff games last year, usually game one, where it seemed like you guys were just trying to get the feel for another team, and then you adjusted as the series went on. Did you see that playing out tonight and just trying to figure out what was going on with Philly?
Yeah, we did, and sometimes, the best adjustments are just do what you're doing better, and that was really what we did throughout the game tonight. We didn't break from our coverage that we started the game. We just executed it better. It's one of those things as a coach you're always measuring, whether to make a big adjustment or just do it better. And we definitely did a far better job in the final three quarters than we did in the first quarter. And we were able to give ourselves a chance.
Dave?
Frank, obviously you guys are a pretty good shooting team this season, but when you come away from a win or a loss that's by 1 point and see that you missed 9 free throws, what goes through your mind and how do you address that?
They missed 9 or they missed 10, so it was really even from the line. Good free throw shooters are going to have nights where they miss free throws. Everybody concentrates on their work. They put in, they do their routine. They get ready for it. Can't really worry about it. You just got to focus on making the next game.
Kyle?
Hey Frank, that lineup that you guys went on the run with Dennis and Alex and KCP around LeBron and AD, is that situational, or is that the lineup that you kind of foresee being sort of the ace in the hole closing lineup, whatever you want to call it? And if so, what are sort of the strengths there?
Well, it's not a lock that I'll go to that every game. There's some strengths with that lineup in terms of defensive speed. Around AD and Bron as defensively as sort of the two bigs and what they can do. But Alex, KCP, and Dennis obviously elite perimeter speed and containment ability, and they got great space to drive and kick and play that game with AD at the 5. So. There's some positives, but it's not something that it will be a lock that I go with that every night. I mean, AD and Bron will be in there, and we'll see how the rest of the guys are playing and what the matchups look like.
A couple more. Dan?
Frank, how do you think you guys did against Joel?
Better as the game went along. I thought our fouling discipline in the second half was far better than the first half, and as a result, he didn't shoot as many free throws. So that's where it starts with him. But he's a unique player, and we didn't face him last year. He's got a lot of tricks and it is shifty and is very difficult to defend without fouling. So, obviously, like I said, we didn't.
So LeBron scored 46 the other night against his former team, the Cavs, and kept the Lakers' road record flawless. Well, the odds makers are taking notice as some sportsbooks have made King James the MVP favorite. Mr. Smith, I'm starting with you. How should we feel about LeBron being an MVP favorite at this point?
I'm sorry, Molly. Somebody was in my ear. I didn't hear your complete question. I apologize. What did you say?
Yep. All good. How should we feel about LeBron being an MVP favorite?
I don't think we should have a problem with it. Obviously, I've been talking about Kevin Durant because Max has been talking about Joel Embiid, and Joel Embiid obviously deserves consideration, and Kevin Durant is averaging 30, after coming off an Achilles tear. But we have to pay attention to LeBron James, and I don't mind him putting on 46 points against his old team, the Cleveland Cavaliers, basically saying, y'all must have forgot who the hell I am. Certainly he was aiming at somebody courtside sitting next to Cavs ownership that was applauding a miss, and then he put on the show in the fourth quarter. We all get that, but I would remind everybody he didn't really need to drop 46 that game to put his statement season on display. LeBron James is 36 years of age, y'all. 36 years of age. In his 18th season, he is averaging 25, 8, and 7. Okay? On 41% shooting from three-point range, which if he continued at this clip would be the best of his career. Max alluded to his game evolving and basically, just transforming before our very eyes, and that's all fine, good, and dandy. But he's leading the team in scoring. We know that he's your point forward. Everything runs through him. They've got the best record in basketball. They've got the best record in basketball. They're the number 1 seed in the West. They're the reigning defending NBA champions. And oh, by the way, they're undefeated on the road this season going into Philly tonight. And so when you take all of those things into consideration and we talk about an MVP, we do have to take into consideration numbers. We obviously take into strong consideration impact. But when you combine that with the results, meaning number 1 in the NBA, as in the best records, unblemished, undefeated, on the road, okay, averaging more points than Anthony Davis at this particular juncture, doing what he has done, and the fact that he's a 4-time champion, the reigning NBA champion and NBA Finals MVP at the age of 36, and still doing what he's doing, I don't think it can be ignored, and I don't think we can summarily dismiss the man's greatness even at this particular moment in time. I ain't talking resume. I'm not talking longevity. I'm talking right now the way that he has been balling for the Los Angeles Lakers. The fact that he's in the conversation for league MVP is not only apropos, but very, very predictable.
Yeah, he's in the running. LeBron's a solid candidate. He's not the choice right now. If you're talking about the best player in basketball, who we all know based on what we keep seeing in the playoffs when it matters most, it's LeBron. We're not up to that yet. I'm the one saying, what are you talking about, regular season MVP? And then just the finals MVP. What about the whole playoffs? We should wait till the end of the finals, then give the MVP for the whole thing. Okay, but you argue actually no. We're talking regular season MVP. We need to incentivize teams. We need to give the paying customer, the fan, something to watch in the regular season. Well, okay, regular season MVP so far has been Joel Embiid. Embiid's the regular season MVP. Stephen A., over his last 5 games, he's averaging 33, 11, and 2 blocks. Joel Embiid shooting over that time 35% from 3. If you want to look at his season numbers, you can talk about points, rebounds, assists, blocks, steals, all those things, percentages, true shooting, all that kind of stuff. But PER is a good kind of shorthand for that. Embiid is leading the league, well above LeBron. There it is, 31.2. Where's LeBron on the list? So statistically, per game, Embiid has been better. Statistically, per game. But Stephen A., if you just eyeball it, Embiid has been a monster, not only on the offensive end, but on the defensive end. A monster. Maybe the best player in the game defensively. And by the numbers per game, he's the best player in the game offensively. What else is there? There's defense and there's offense, but there's more. LeBron's played in all 18 games. His team is in first place. He is playing with AD, another MVP caliber player. As good as Simmons is, he's not that. LeBron's got AD. They're probably going to split the vote. They're in first place. So are the Sixers. Well, Embiid's only played in 14 games. It hasn't affected where his team is. They're in first place. Now, he has missed 4 games. Tightness in his back and everything. Okay, what happened in those 4 games? It hasn't hurt their position in the standings, in first place in the conference. And what you see when Embiid doesn't play, they don't just kind of barely lose.